Lexus doesn't have much high performance history. In fact, in the last 3 decades it's produced just 2 go faster models, the LFA Supercar and the underrated ISF Saloon. But now there's this, the GS F. Based on the sober-suited GS Saloon, it packs a mighty 471 brake horsepower 5-litre V8, a traditional rear-wheel drive layout and completely overhauled suspension. Yet despite its sporty intentions, Lexus claims the GS F is 80% performance car and 20% luxury saloon, which is reflected in the car's classily understated looks. In contrast, there's no mistaking the Vauxhall VXR8 GTS for anything other than a high-performance flagship. While the Lexus is low-key, the VXR8 shouts from the rooftops before punching you in the face. And ignore the Griffin badge on the bonnet, because this is really a Holden HSV from Australia, complete with a bonkers 585 brake horsepower supercharged 6.2 litre V8. Yet, despite the power, it's decent value, with this 6-speed automatic model weighing in at just over £57,000. Not bad when you consider the Lexus will set you back $69,995. So, the cheaper and more powerful Vauxhall has the upper hand on paper, but which of our contenders is faster around a lap of the Blighton Park circuit?
Right, so first up we've got the Lexus. Now, this is the first fast Lexus saloon since the ISF bowed out a few years ago. It's sort of all new because under the bonnet is the same 5-litre 471 horsepower V8 that debuted in the RCF last year, and it's a cracking unit. It really is. It sounds lovely, and while it doesn't make its maximum torque of 530 newton meters until about 4,500 RPM, once it gets above those sort of revs, it absolutely flies, and the noise is lovely. So Lexus have taken quite a high-tech approach to the way this car drives. So we've got quite a few things to play with here. So we've got Sport, Normal, Sport Plus and Eco modes. We've also got a clever Torsen differential at the back, which shuffles the torque across the axle to sort of enhance turning and give the car a more agile feel, which it's going to need because it weighs around 1,800 kilos. Now this differential I can have in standard, track or slalom mode, and slalom's the most aggressive and really kind of points the nose into the corner. I find it a bit artificial, but it certainly does the trick. The steering doesn't really have much weight, but it's progressive and kind of decent feel. Oh, you're a fighter. And it's quite quick as well, which is handy because once the Lexus starts to go, you've got to have your wits about you, but it's a very nice car, and the chassis is actually very balanced. It's a bit soft. It's a really good road car, and it's a bit soft here, but it never really gets out of its depth until you're really leaning on it, and then even then it's just so well balanced. You know, you've got options. You can use the weight, the considerable weight of the car, to sort of adjust your line through a corner. Now you also need to be wary. The brakes are pretty powerful, but they need to be because there's a lot of car to stop. And of course, because rear wheel drive with around 500 horsepower, it will go sideways. It's unusual for a V8 that you sort of have to work it very hard to get the best out of it, but when you do, just the sound is, it's lovely. So some heat in the tyres now, let's go for a lap. So, once that Lexus engine winds up, really flies, so hard on the brakes, and you can feel the weight, but the turn-in is pretty decent actually. You've got to be patient with it, and then just use that power to fire it down the next straight. It just revs and revs and revs the engine, and then hard on the brakes for the chicane again. The weight. That's pretty good traction there. And the gearbox it's an 8-speed auto, and it hesitates just a little bit on the upshifts, but it's very crisp on the downshifts. You do get a nice little blip of the throttle. Right, patient around here, patient. Get in the gas. Here we go. So this is where these types of cars suffer. It's a very fast change of direction. The weight's just moving around. Okay then, hard on the brakes. Come on, slow down, Lexus, slow down. Good traction out of there, down change. Oh, just lighted up there, but I think we didn't lose so much time across the line. Now, let's see what that was.
So, the Lexus raced around in a respectable time of 1 minute 12.5 seconds. Not bad, but can the Vauxhall do better?
Right, so now it's the turn of the Vauxhall VXR8 GTS. Now, ignore the Vauxhall badge because underneath this is pure Australian muscle car. It's a Holden. And while it's a four-door saloon with a V8 and rear-wheel drive, it's quite a different beast from the Lexus. For starters, the 6.2 litre V8 has got a supercharger, which means a mammoth 585 brake horsepower and well over 700 newton meters of torque. And that means, well, it's quite quick. So here we are, third gear, and bizarrely for a supercharged engine, it doesn't come in until just over 3,000, but then, oh my word! And then it's over 900 kilos, so slowing it down takes a little bit of effort. And of course, with all that torque, it's quite lively. Oh, you fighter ripper! Yes, that will go sideways quite a lot, so care needed on the throttle, I think, on the fast laps. The 6-speed gearbox, as opposed to the Lexus, is 8-speed, and it's a traditional auto. It's effective, basically. It's not the fastest in the world, but it responds crisply to the paddles, and that makes it quite easy to drive. Leave it to its own devices, it's very smooth. Not quite as high-tech as the Lexus. It's got a normal limited slip differential at the back, and I've also got Tour, Performance and Track modes, and that's about it. So we're in track mode, ESP off, let's go for a lap. Oh, that engine, it's not as charismatic as the Lexus, but my word, it's strong. It fires it down the straights, but that means you just have to be heavy on the brakes and then just be patient, slow it down, get it turned in, and then use all that power. And my word, it absolutely flies. Brake, 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 brake. You're having to be a gear higher everywhere than you are in the Lexus, because otherwise it just wants to spin up the rear wheels. It's not as adjustable as the Lexus. You've got to take a more traditional slow in, fast out, just get it pointing in the right direction and then on the gas we go. It's got grip, it's there, but you just have to be patient. But once you get it right, I think there's going to be some good lap time in this car. Fast changes of direction. It's, again, like the Lexus, you can just feel that weight, and then trying to get it slowed down and turned in, and then gently on the throttle. Yeah, trying to light up there. Brake again, be a bit... Yes, that's a good exit there. Decent traction. And round. That was a good lap time there.
The Vauxhall crossed the line a full second faster, with a time of 1 minute 11.5 seconds. So, a resounding winner then? Well, yes and no. There's no doubt the VXR8's bargain price and sledgehammer pace are appealing, but its handling isn't involving and its V8 isn't as charismatic. And when you're not pounding around a track, the GS F's supple ride, excellent refinement and classy looks make it easier to live with every day. To watch a track battle between the Nissan GT-R and the Porsche 911 GT3, click the video on the left. To watch a first drive of the Lexus GS F, click the video on the right. This video, and click on our logo to subscribe.